Well, nice way to start off the week. A good old 10-20 minute line of congestion as you come towards some roadwork traffic lights that are clearly not balanced for the 80-10% split of traffic. It's a three-way traffic light thing. 80% of the traffic is going on this road, this direction, and then maybe 10 is going that way and 10 is coming this way, and yet that's why it queues back for so fucking long. Yeah, Google did not predict this, did you, Google? You little swine. I woke up this morning and I was not feeling... It's nice driving though, to be fair. It's a nice little countryside, little view. You can look over into like the valleys and it's all lovely. But we woke up this morning feeling tired, bizarrely. But I think it's because it's the first time I've woken up an hour behind, if that makes sense. So it's darker than it was. So there's less like natural light coming in and whatnot. But I obviously slept all the way through, so I didn't do anything weird like that, but I'm probably going to get back into that tomorrow. I'm going to have today is going to be like a little rejigging. Look at that, lot. Isn't that a nice drive-in? I'd zoom, but then you can see this little scratcher even more, and god damn, that's irritating, isn't it? We'll get around to getting and do camera at some point. I apologise. Yeah, today's going to be a bit of rejigging. I'm going to go home, I'm going to sort out videos because I'm behind on that. And I'm gonna we've got shopping to do, sort out to-do list, just get kind of organised, and then we can launch into stuff again tomorrow. I burnt out a little bit last weekend, yeah, in my last video this weekend. So I don't want to, I want to like basically rejig, rebalance, reorganise, then launch again, rather than kind of half launching and then stuttering inevitably. Today though is going to be a boring day. It's going to be one boring ass day. One, I'm going to be later than I expected to be. But two, I think I'm in a meeting from 10 till 12, half 12 till half 1, and then 2 till 4. 3 different meetings. Well, the two big meetings are different, the same, more or less. But we're going to be starting off a new project. We've got the project kickoff meeting. We've got like refinement and ticket making. So it's just going to be pretty boring. But it's my opportunity to start architecting out a new platform, a new microservice, figuring out a way that we can start development on something where 75% of the developers don't know the technology stack, and only 50% are like, well, that's probably not fair, to be fair. One of them is a good developer, but in a really old technology stack. Another one is good, but in like JavaScript-y world, and then the other one is just like not very good JavaScript developer, but he's like junior, so we're trying to train him up. But yeah, so that's going to be fun. So I'm going to start architecting that out, all the while still trying to support the old project for a couple of weeks. So it's going to be a bit of balancing act. I was hoping to get in early today, which is not going to happen, and then fix a automapper issue, but it's that, innit? I introduced these roadworks on Thursday, I think it was. I saw them for the first time. Thursday afternoon I saw them, and then they were there Friday, and they weren't this bad on Friday. I was like, to be honest, I didn't even contemplate them as I drove down this way. But then I was like, they've probably cleared them by the weekend. Fucking, that was an idiotic move. They're going to be there for 3/4 of the year now, aren't they? The amount of traffic is going to make a very long day feel even freaking longer. So just realised I've got 9 minutes of footage left to record, which means on this camera I've got nearly 80 minutes of footage. So, I don't know yet how long the last video was when I was on my own all weekend. I'm assuming it was long. I thought 3 days is probably enough. That's probably going to be 20 odd minutes. Is it closer to 40? Probably closer to 50 than 40 actually. Fuck me. Sorry guys, I didn't realise. My god, was today a slog. It was just meetings all day, and it was like, we were trying to make a ticket. It was a bit of a shit show, to be honest. And like, you know when you've been in a meeting for so long and you're like, we've not got anywhere here. But we've been trying to like scope out tasks for the next project. And then having disagreements about the ways that we should do it, which is always fun. It was freaking stressful. And I'm like driving home and I'm like, God, that was so fucking stressful. And when I've had a stressful day, I'm like, oh, my head. I've got a headache coming because of this shit. But yeah, so nothing like a good old bit of waterfall, is there, boys? Yeah, so I came home, late, obviously. I also that overhang. Even though I got to work so late, it's still overhung by an hour. So I'm glad by 30 minutes. So I'm glad I didn't get in early. But yeah, so otherwise we did shopping and whatnot. I went to the shop this time, so to get it delivered. Living the dream. Been struggling. I think I've left my. I have. Been struggling somewhat because I've just done my videos. I just rendered them out on Atlas and uploaded one of them and rendered out another. And I was like, in fact, this computer's gone to sleep. The first of the two videos was like 30 minutes, and I still don't know how long the other one is because I walked away from my computer while it was rendering. So, yeah, I thought I'd be clever and render them both at the same time, which was foolish. But I mean, it handles it. The computer just chugs through it. But it obviously, neither of them render very quick because they're halving their throughput, basically. Yeah, so that's that. And I'm thinking it's time to... Are we waking up tomorrow? Don't think I have anything in my calendar tomorrow. I don't, it's just work. So, there's in no meetings, I've got Google Calendar. So maybe let's get up, maybe, I'm thinking. If I'm thinking this much, it means I don't want to, but that's not an excuse. Like existential crisis is that I make out that I'm more productive than I am. I really beat myself up when I don't wake up and I'm not productive. But I had a pretty bad day yesterday. And last night I was dreaming about Laura having a baby. So they're my excuses. Although I do remember waking up at midnight and looking at my clock at 1:45 and being like, I should probably get up. And obviously not getting up. But no traffic today, so we're at work nice and early. It's raining, so I parked really close. Try and have a more fun day today, although I have no idea what's in store. So I think we're gonna try and get this Google Cloud functioning live. Yeah, tell me about it. Talking about that for fucking years. Home, ladies and gentlemen. We had a better day today than yesterday. Again, hung back late. We decided to go code complete today for the last project that we were doing in favour of starting the next project because the next project is already under time pressure. Lol. So I stayed late because I handed over a somewhat simple piece of work to a junior developer, but the code itself is simple, but the unit tests were a bit complicated because it's doing a lot of stuff. Well, it's doing one thing, but it's doing a lot of things to do that one thing. And he was struggling with that, and then at some point I had to basically around midday you couldn't get the test running. I was like, okay, I'm in refinement. When I come out of refinement, I'll sort it. And I just raced. Came out of refinement, I turned my monitor into portrait mode, and then raced to get it done by the end of the day to get to code complete. But we got there, so that's good. We are moving over now. There is one bug that's coming out of something, so I made it to investigate that, and I was getting the API running. Got extra login in now. We had some issues. That Cloud function, we had issues getting the third party to talk to us, SSL issues. So I spent a lot of time with them. It's been very busy. And we started work on this new project. So that started refinement work. So I should be starting that tomorrow, assuming that I don't have much to support for the last project. We have kind of made sense of the mess of yesterday. To a certain extent, it's still not perfect, but it's life now. Holy shit, that video from the weekend was 50 minutes long. 50. I go crazy when I've got no one else to talk to, man. I've got a pretty interesting message today to do with Borealis, so we'll see if that goes anywhere. What else? And then, then came back home, and I'm just now kind of trying to figure out what it is I'm going to do in my life. Laura should be back soonish, so I'm going to set up to do some work upstairs. Yeah. Yeah. That's that, boys. It's been an alright day today. Yeah, like I say, we need it. There was a lot of, there was a mess yesterday, but tidied it up today. We'll see. Tidied it up, but didn't make it perfect. It's always the way. You can aim for perfection and miss, but don't aim for a fucking mess and get a mess, you know. I've been looking at ways of adding logging to refit, because when it fails quite hard. it doesn't fuck about. It's like bang, I'm dead. And you're like, can you at least let me know why you failed like that, please, mate? I just added some, and then I was like, oh, let's just check how that looks. And then I spotted that it's already been logged by Application Insights. God damn, App Insights is good. I added does more, but I don't think it does. I don't think it's necessary, because if it is going to fail, it's going to fail. Well, if it's going to fail in a way that's going to be difficult to, you know what I mean? If it's going to fail in a way that's difficult to debug, it's going to be happening locally, and then I'm going to have all the data anyway, because I can step through it. But yeah, it's a fun one. But yeah, so define the contracts now for the next bit. I think, and I'm going to take out this little bit of login thing, I don't think I need it. And then I just need to start wiring it into this pipeline. It's such a faff doing this kind of stuff. This like Saga management and whatnot. It's just such a faffy son of a bitch. But we'll get there. I wonder if we're going to need Saga for what we're doing at work. I've got a bit of a headache, which isn't good. But yeah, so I've been working on this evening. I watched Orchard Series 2 of that for an hour, and now we're about to head to bed. Trying to be more proactive with these videos. I lose scope on that. I lose scope on it, and then I edit them and I upload them, which is something else I did today. And then I struggle to find what to say about them in like the description and stuff, which generally means that nothing happened. My head, man, I'm just doing so much shit. There ain't enough hours in the day. Also, I think I need to get more fans for my computer, because I don't think it sticks to turbo. It doesn't boost as high as I think it should. And it definitely doesn't hang on that boost. When it sits at max. So it can sit at like 3.8, 3.9 gigahertz. Which is obviously pretty freaking toasty. I swear it turbo boosts to 4. I'm not sure if I can, if it's probably not worth it, to be honest. But yeah, it is quite loud. I don't know if you can hear it when I'm in there, but it is quite loud. Right, bedtime. Every single day, something seems to come up at like 4 o'clock, where we've just got to go crazy to get it sorted. Today at about 4:30, I was furiously unit testing to finish off someone else's work, because the unit tests are really complicated and I'm the best place for that. And then today, we found out about a bug. Well, I knew about the bug all day, but I found out that the fix was in my remit. I thought it was on the front end, the fix was. So today at like 4 o'clock, I was like, shit, let's get that freaking sorted. And I'm like racing through all of that to try and make sure that we can get a PR in for tomorrow / tonight. It'll be tomorrow morning, but as soon as I get in, I'll raise PR. Like a right workhorse. Before I was doing that, I was spinning up a new microservice, which is fun because it's going to be a new microservice the way I make microservices, not the way that they've made microservices in the past. It means it's going to be the developer experience is going to be nice, it's going to be nice and simple, it's going to be fast as fuck, it's going to be lightweight, it's going to be beautiful. So, the one problem I was having was getting SSL to work in Docker, but I've got the one oddity I've got is I have to support Macs, because basically everyone else has a Mac but me. So if anyone else wants to do any work on it, then you have to run the microservice on their machine, which it does out of the box for running it through .NET, obviously. But I was trying to set up Docker containers to do the same thing. And it's faff, man. I couldn't figure it out in the end, and I got ripped away into something else. But I've got a health endpoint and all that kind of shit, and I'm just going to create the contracts for what the microservice is going to do. Not that I know yet. That way then the front end can start to integrate in with it. As much as I don't like the idea of the front end just calling a random microservice in our network, but hey ho, we're going to have an API gateway at some point in the future. I don't give a shit. So, anyway, that's that. I am now home. I'm waiting for Laura. I've just chilled out, watched some YouTube vids, and now I will do a little bit of work while I wait for Laura. I hate the part that I'm about to be at, which is just like, I've just got to spin up a load of threads on a asynchronous process on a message bus. It's just such a faff. It's just such a pain in the ass to do. God damn. And it's just so irritating. There's no easy way. It's just a slog. And you just got to like make sure you get the idea, make sure you've got that process defined. You can't just like start it and ham it out as you go. It's like you got to make sure that process is like predefined, pre-configured, and all drawn out and all nice and pretty before you can really do anything. And it's just so irritating. But I'm going to sort out dinner and then come back to it. I'm going to see if I can draw it while I'm doing dinner downstairs on a piece of paper, get the flow sorted, and then laugh from there. I think so. Yeah. I'll tell you what is really hard to do, like legitimately really difficult to do, is context switch all the time. Like I have to context switch from work and what we're doing at work to here, and it's so like jarring to go from what I'm doing, which is using somewhat different stack, and obviously doing something wildly different, to what we're doing at work, which is like complicated, and I'm trying to make it like this, but it's harder, and I can do it with all the new stuff, but I can't do it with all the old stuff, and it is faffy, to say the least. But I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, to calculate tax, we're going to have to do it like this. I don't need to know how to calculate tax for my stuff, but I'm just like waking up thinking about it. Programming is like, it's all consuming. It consumes your waking moment. If you're awake, you're thinking about it. It's so irritating. It's really difficult to just switch off from it sometimes. I think the problem with that is when you do manage to kind of switch off from it a little bit, which I managed to do over the weekend, almost by mistake, but I managed to switch off about it. I'm now finding it difficult to switch myself back on again. So I managed to switch myself on at work, and I'm able to like keep up with the franticness of that, but I've lost the ability to, I basically like let myself burn out, and I'm trying to switch myself back on for my own stuff. If that makes any kind of sense. I feel like I'm rambling. I figured it out, boys. I figured out how we can do it, and we're working through. It's complicated because, well, firstly I had to figure out the saga, but then I kind of had, the saga needs to be able to say do something, but it doesn't know how many success responses it should wait for. Like, technically it can go on the first one, but officially there's 3. So it's going to say do this, and that thing's going to do 3 different things. Now you don't want them to do all 3 things, because if the last one fails you don't want to retry the first 2. So you want to separate them out. So effectively you're going to go do three things, and then that thing will do 3 things separately, and then kick back 3 separate results. It's a bit of a faff, it's a bit of a hoot, to be honest. But I'm going to watch some TV, and then bedtime, we're going to wake up, we're going to chip through. Oh hello, there's a fire. Yeah, look at this weather, and look at me not wearing a clever coat today, you fucking fool. I am king of the plates right now at work. I've got like 5 plates all being spun at the same time. I'm doing quite well at it as well, to be fair to me, but there is a lot going on. I'm keeping up, and yeah, I've got like a to-do list of like 4 or 5 things to do. They're all completely different and all equally important. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but we're getting there. A lot of the working now with another team, so it's like 2 teams together, and a lot of them are starting to look to me for answers now as well. So it's not just my team I'm winning over. Woohoo! My tester friend told me that the team lead in their team said to her that I seem to know what I'm doing. Seem to know what I'm doing. I seem to be really clever, and it probably, like, I'm not the team lead, but everyone looks to me as if I am, so I'm answering like all of the important questions, which I'm more than happy with. So yeah, there's 2 other team leads, but then I'm basically the 3rd one that's actually the most important, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's busy going, man. It is busy going. I'm spinning like 4 plates on the old project while trying to forge forward on the next project. It's going well. Just having some minor difficulties setting up things to work on a Mac. They work like if the problem is debugging them on a Mac is the biggest problem. And to be honest with you, the biggest problem is when people use Visual Studio for Mac. That shit is garbage compared to even Visual Studio Code. It's crazy bad. Yeah, I'm having the most problem getting them up and running than I am anyone else. But yeah, I'm having some issues with style cop generation, all that shit. It's dropped really cold today as well. which is odd because it's been really hot over the past couple of days. But yeah, so came home, had some dinner, went to sleep, had some dinner. I had the joy of trying to defrost an absolutely frozen stew. 20 minutes in the microwave on defrost and then on the hob for about 20 minutes as well. Finally got it and just chipping through some work on my own projects and whatnot, which is going good. It's going goddamn good. But it's bedtime. Feeling a little bit tired. I have napped quite well today, to say it's been my first day. I've napped at least a little bit. That's all that matters. Keep it up. When I woke up this morning, I struggled to get out of bed, and I didn't like that. I lay there and I'm like, you need to get up, Jamie. But I just couldn't. And I did, but I couldn't. I'm like, where is your strength gone? Your strength of mind, where you're like, bang, I'm up. When I was at uni, my alarm would go off, and I'd be out of bed. I'd just be like, bang, I'm up. I'll go to the shower. Now I'm like, oh, it's nice and warm here. Stop it. Discipline, Jimmer. Look at Graham, look. Graham's on the... Oh, man. Such a cool photo. I added Graham to the Google Home. Oh, Graham. Oh, God damn it. I had a hoot of a day today. I spent 4 hours trying to do something in Google Cloud and Bitbucket that would take me about 2.5 minutes in Visual Studio online. It's so frustrating. I still didn't get it working. Fixed the final load of bugs on the last project, spinning them plates. And then I was responsible for trying to get the build pipeline. I've got a build pipeline sorted, but it's doing nothing except for say, yeah, that built. It's not like building anything and putting it somewhere useful or deploying it or anything. I tried to get the deployments hooked up and I just can't do it. It's such an afterthought. It's just such a big black box and you're like, I don't know, there's no documentation, there's no nothing. It's such a pain in the ass. But we had Domino's for lunch, which was nice. And it was an alright, good day in general. Apart from the fact that I was just smashing my head against this thing, trying to make it work and it just wouldn't work. Yeah, and you try and find like deploying Bitbucket using pipelines, .NET Core applications to Google Cloud. Those words have never been used in a sentence before. So, fun times. I'm going to end the video here though, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long video. That's the only real reason. That is Google just piped up there. Not being helpful at all. Yeah, so I'm struggling to wake up and carry on doing work here, but beyond that, we're doing okay. I just need to persist. Persistence is key. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll catch you later.